Hello and welcome to a review of set 75381 Droideka. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe. This set was first released May 1st, 2024 and retails for £60, $65 or €65 and contains 583 pieces. This set is an 18 plus set, but that doesn't necessarily reflect it is going to be that sort of difficulty, as it is just aimed at the adult range. So on the front of the box you have the Star Wars logo, Lego logo, the 25 years of Lego Star Wars as well, along with a beautiful image of the Droideka on the front, along with the Disney logo in the bottom right. What I do say about this set, it is relatively small to what the price point says. It's a £60 set, and it is a tiny box. It is one of the gel pens. It's not that big for what you get compared to others, so slightly disappointed in the actual size, but I don't know if it's going to make up for it during the actual build. I've seen it's meant to be quite a good one, so let's have a look at the back of the box. So on the back of the box you can see how the Droideka can actually fold up, which is a really good playability feature, along with the stand you get. So you get a miniature Droideka, the information plate, along with a 25 years of Lego Star Wars brick, along with the dimensions down here. So that is going to be 21 centimeters tall by 16 centimeters long, or 8 inches by 6. And you do have 2 photos of it from the actual film. So it looks like to get into this set it is going to be thumb tabs, unfortunately, but let's get this opened up and see what's inside. So inside the box we have paper bags. This is my second set with paper bags. I think some of you remember I had one for the March sets, and also outside the paper bags you get your printed plate. It's a bit smaller than the other ones, I believe, but that doesn't matter, it's obviously to scale. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags, along with a sticker sheet and your instruction manual, which isn't in anything to protect it, but it's just your basics instruction manual with the taskbar going along the bottom. So I'm going to get this built up and I'll catch you in a second. So with the actual use of the paper bags, it fits perfectly into the box. That might be why it is so small, as they just slide in perfectly up to the top, and it saves on packaging, so that could be why it's such a small box. But it's still a bit disheartening when you get to spend that much money and see a box that size. Okay, so the set is all built up. Generally quite an easy build, a few fiddly parts, but let's start off with the stand and then we'll work our way onto the main build. So the stand is pretty much your bog standard stand you're going to get. You have the information plate along with the 25 years brick. This is connected by a 2x4 with studs, so that's quite nice how it does just connect on there, unlike some stands where there's not the option to connect to it. And you do have a rather decent Droideka. The Droideka itself is generally quite decent. This is not my favourite one they've done. I think the one from the Naboo Starfighter quite a few years ago, that was quite a good one. In my opinion, it's just a bit, there's not much spacing around here, and it's all very congested. They have used this new piece, which was first in 75320, the Snowtrooper Battle Pack, so it's quite a good use there, where it used to be a larger piece with 8 connections, so it's a pretty good piece usage have. It's just not my favourite Droideka, and I think the angle on the arms just isn't the greatest either. And the way it does connect is by using these translucent bricks down here, and along with this dish type piece, and you can't get it off once it's on there, as it's just the way it works. So it's really quite annoying, but it does sit very nicely on the stand, and overall it looks an amazing stand and goes very well with the overall display piece. So moving on to the overall Droideka, it looks quite good. It does its overall intention. There's some really cool part usage, but I'll get onto that as we go through it. So starting off at the bottom, it's some legs. They don't move at all. They are fixed in this position, as you can see with the use of the Technic piece. They can't rotate either way, and these bits are fairly flimsy, as it's not a play set, it's more of a display set, but it does add the necessary detail needed, and you do get some quite good angles on there nonetheless. Moving up onto the torso, there's not really any movement there as well. You do get some nice detail with just the way they've managed to get some of the angles. However, you can see some misuse of colours to a degree. So you've got some dark brown there with normal reddish brown, which isn't the best colour in my opinion. You should have just stuck with all reddish brown, but that's how they've done it. So moving on to the back, you can see how they've managed to get some of the angles. They've used some clip pieces here, so nothing too fancy. You can get them up a bit higher if you want to, but you do need to move the arms for that. You do use some cheese slopes as well, just to get a bit more of an angle, along with some general slope pieces and different colours at the bottom to give it that more rustic feel. And there is a few stickers on here just to give it that extra piece of detail on both sides. So moving up a bit more into the chest area, you can get some decent angles with a bit of posability here. So you can bring him all the way forward or back one click, so not too much, but it is just that extra little bit, and I'll get onto a bit more of that movement shortly. Moving up even more, you get a bit more of that movability on the head. But going on to the arms, they can move, so they do alternate, so it does give that firing look, which is quite a nice little detail there. And you do use some whip pieces to give the idea of cables, however, they are fairly loosely put in. As you can see with this one, it's come out as I've moved them. So the way they are connected is just in with the 1x1 studs with the hole in, or some Technic pins down there, and that is the same for both sides. So it's not the strongest connection, but it will make do as long as it's not played with too much. You do have some stickers on the arms as well, just to give that extra little piece of detail, but it is disappointing, it is not a print. So moving up to more of the head area, you have some more posability with some of the angles. You can get some decent range of movement, as you can see there, but I'm not exactly sure why it would need to be at that angle, but it is just a nice little bit of movement as well. So the best angle, I think, is that. I think it gives it the best 90-degree angle. However, I think it tells you how to do it properly in the instructions. I'll double check that shortly. You do get some bit of angles with the top as well, as you can see with these, but it's not the most movable, as it's not meant to be. It's meant to stay in that curved position all the time. I forgot to mention with the arms, you can bend them up a bit, which does give that extra little bit of movement. However, if you do bend them up, you need to move the bar, which makes it look like it's got a support, so it's not ideal if you do move them up much at all. So going on to the front of the head, this is some of really unique part usage for me. They've used lipstick pieces for the eyes, so your bog standard Lego Friends lipstick piece, and it does fit very nicely in there. So it does give that, because it's dual molded, it gives that lovely red eye touch with the light bluish grey around the side, which does really make it quite impressive compared to some other Droidekas. So on the basic stand one, it's just using levers, so it's quite a good little part usage there, and something which does really add to the overall look. You can fold it up into its rolling position. However, I don't think it looks that good, as you got to do something with the legs, you got to flip them inside out, so it's not a smooth movement. I will just demonstrate that quickly. So that's it in its collapsed up position. I don't think it looks that good. You can slightly adjust this if you want to get it a slightly better angle, and then bring those down individually, but that's just quite a bit of a faff. And like I said, you have to flip the legs inside out. You then have to do all these different things with the arms. So ideally you would just display it standing up, but it does give its general purpose, and I think it is a nice little addition they did. It doesn't really roll, it will just kind of fall over, but it does give its general idea of it away. So overall, I was pretty much disappointed with the Droid, as it was quite a small box. You don't get overly many pieces, and it's not the smallest build for the actual price point. However, it does definitely do its purpose of being a really good display piece with the sleek design of the stand to the overall build of the Droid. However, if I was you, I would personally wait to get it on sale. So that's going to be it for this video. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.